Hi everyone, welcome back to Dark Fantasy Therapy, and today we're gonna see which is the best build that you can afford in the early game to fight against Rennala Queen of the Full Moon. So don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and let's begin. First, let's start with the armor set. This boss fight will be split into two different phases, and only in the second you will actually fight against Rennala, Queen of the Full Moon. That she's a sorcerer, so the damage she will inflict to you will be mostly magical, not physical, unless if you consider the spirit ashes that she will summon in the second part of the second phase, but you can easily avoid and dodge these other units, or you can deal so much damage in a very short period of time that she will not have the time to summon these monsters, especially if you get the help of a spirit ashes as well. Now this set you can get it by default if you choose the astrologer class, but you can also purchase it from the very first merchant of Lurna of the lakes that you will encounter when you will enter the area for a very fair price. Of course there are better sets that boost magical negation, but this is the best that you can find in the early game, so only Lurna of the Lakes, Kylid and Lingriv. I really suggest this because the magical negation is the double of the physical one, and as I said, if you can avoid the attacks of the summon spirits, at that point you just need to be protected from her spells. Another item that boosts significantly your magical damage negation is the Spelldrake Talisman that reduces the magical damage by the 13%. There are multiple versions of it that are all the upgraded version of the previous one. The basic one, you can find it in the Weeping Peninsula when you defeat the Rune Bear mini boss in the Earthbore cave. That is an area very easy to find, and the boss is not one of the strongest there, and you can definitely put your hands on this talisman to boost, of course, your defense against Rennala, and I mean, before getting access to Lurna of the Lakes. So I really suggest you to take it before doing this fight. If you already paid a visit in Kylid, you can consider to replace the Spelldrake Talisman the basic one, with the upgraded version, the Spelldrake Talisman +1, that boosts the magical damage negation by 17%, so you will be even more protected from the spells of Rennala. How to find it? You have to go to Celia, Town of Sorcery, that requires you to solve a puzzle. You have to light all the braziers atop the towers, and in this way these little areas that will be sealed by this magical barrier will be unlocked, and you can loot the chest. You will get a lot of magic related items that can help your magic build, but this talisman especially can be very useful. If you have to fight against, even when you have to enter, Raya Lucaria with a lot of wizards, it can be a really nice addition to your equipment. Since Rennala is a sorcerer, you can expect her to have a high magical damage negation and even the elemental one. So I really don't suggest you to use any magical weapon, even if you put Ash of War to boost your intelligence build. For this fight you should remove it. In this way you can deal proper physical damage, that is the kind of damage that she's more vulnerable to. You can use whatever weapon. The only passive effects that she's immune to are the sleep and the madness, so it's welcome the blood loss, the frostbite, the poison, and whatever. And then you should prioritize a weapon with the standard slash and pierce damage, but not with strike, because she's a little more stronger. My favorite in this case will be the Naginata, but I mean, it's just my choice because it's both slash and piercing, and then it causes blood loss. But you can take whatever weapon you want, just be careful to not put the magical damage on it, because or the sleep or the madness, because otherwise all these effects will be wasted against the queen. In case you have an intelligence build and you want to optimize your stats, your points spent in intelligence, but you want still to inflict only physical damage, you can consider to take the Rock Sling. That is a sorcery of the gravity category that inflicts physical damage, even if you spell it with your intelligence. So in this way you don't have to sacrifice to waste your intelligence point, and you can still cast a spell that deals actual damage to Rennala. To find this, you have to go in the swamp of Ionia at the very beginning, where there is the Street of the Sage's Ruins. Is this area with a lot of servants of the rot that will throw at you these poison balls that you have to be careful, but you can just go with the horse, just access the area that bring you to the underground cellar, and then in there you have to loot the chest, and you will get this this sorcery that fulfill all your needs. Now, with this very easy to make build, you can finally go to fight Rennala Queen of the Full Moon. In the first phase, you have to deal with these novices that, the only thing that they do is just to throwing books at you that deals physical damage, but it's not books that we're worried about. And then there is this flamethrower attack in this rain of magical damage that, and then they can even, I think, throw at you lamps. You have to be a little careful about all of that, but don't worry, they are all attacks that you can easily dodge or avoid. And when you defeat 3 of these apprentices that you have to choose the one with this light over their head, you can finally go to Rennala that will be dropped down, and you can hit her very, very hard. In this case, the bleeding effect will cause a lot of damage to her. In the second phase, you will finally be given the chance to fight Rennala as a sorcerer. She will keep casting spells at you that are of different size and entity. There will be a laser that you have just to go to the right or to the left to avoid it. Then there will be some projectiles that will follow you, and in that case you have to roll forward, not backward, be careful of that. And then she will summon these spirits, or she will cast the full moon sorcery that it's a very powerful spell that can destroy you with just one hit, but it's quite slow, so it's easy to avoid. And then other spells like that. In any case, even if you get this boost of magical damage negation, her spells will still hit very, very hard with just 3 of them, or even 2. She can end your life, so be careful to dodge them and to avoid them. Then you can try to break her stance, but mostly she will keep casting, so hit her and then go at her side and go a little back and then hit her again. She's not a hard boss, and when she started to summon these spirits, you can just avoid them, wait for them to disappear, and in the meanwhile go to find her, hunt her, and you will deal to her a lot of damage with your physical weapons, don't worry. So you don't need many hits, and at the same time it's a very funny boss, very easy to do it. But of course this is a guide for beginners in case you are struggling with her in the 2025. Thank you for following me, and see you very, very soon.